Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Mrs. Hyman. You just watched a little video of a reading of a book called My Garden, or The Garden. So we are going to create our own garden. I actually am going to lift this up just a little so you can see more of the size of my paper. There we go. Well, no, a little bit more would be more helpful, I think. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see my paper. So we are going to create a little scene in a garden. And even though it's not been the nicest weather yet, and things in our personal gardens have only just begun to grow, maybe you have a few flowers, maybe you don't yet. Mine haven't been very cooperative yet. I'm still waiting. But we're going to create a garden. So we're going to start down here at the bottom of our page, drawing with our pencil. I want you to create some organic shapes. It would be really big flowers. I'm going to put a circle in the middle of that. We're going to use something that's called overlap. And overlap is when something is hiding something else. So a part of it doesn't show because it's behind something else. Like my hands right now are overlapped. My flowers are not, but I want to make them overlap. So I'm going to add one. And I only draw what would show from behind. So I don't draw through my flowers that are already there. I'm going to overlap one here. It's almost like I'm using a little bit of my imagination. Like I know I could draw there, but I don't want to. So an easy way to do it might be begin to draw and then imagine where the rest would be without putting your pencil down. Lift your pencil up off the ground. So this is my start of my garden. I'm going to add some leaves down here because I really want it to look like a garden. And I'm going to imagine that there are more flowers that are going right off the page because I want it to look like a nice full garden. So there's a leaf there. Here's one here. Over to the side. Do you notice I'm not drawing anything on the top? I did that on purpose because now comes the fun part of this project. Above your flowers, I want you to start at one flower, make it kind of big, go all the way across to another flower. So we have a hill. It's not really a hill, I'm playing with you, but it looks like a hill, right? Then, at the top of your hill, I want you to make a bumpy, smaller hill. What is Mrs. Hyman up to? Inside of this hill, I want you to make a smaller hill. And inside of this hill, I want you to make two even smaller hills, side by side. Down here between my flowers, you may not have room for this, but I have one, so I'm going to make a little circle. You'll see what that is soon. But remember, it's overlapped. You can't see the whole circle, only part of it. Inside of my little hills, I'm going to add two smaller ones. And when I start to color, I want to make sure that I'm going to color those in to look like eyes. What are we making? Do you have an idea yet? I'll show you. Make a curved triangle on each side of that smaller hill. And coming down off that, make another one. Do you know what it is yet? Of course, it's a little bunny rabbit hiding behind the flowers. I'm going to add some little hair up on top. Now, my bunny rabbit's hiding in that flower bed. Wonder what he's hiding from. Maybe I'm going to add some more flowers, I think, over here overlapped. And I'll show you why in a minute. You do not have to do exactly what I do. You can add what you want to your picture. So if yours looks different than mine, that is a good thing, not a bad thing. You should never feel like you have to copy exactly what I do. I would much rather see your creative thought than just you copying me. So there's some more flowers over there. Wonder why? Well, let me see. I'm going to add some stems coming down so they're growing out of the ground. And over here, I am going to add, and this is what my little bunny's looking at. I'm going to add a circle with a smaller circle and some curved lines for antenna. Add some little legs. I'm going to add a stripe and some dots. What is that going to be when I color it? Of course, it's going to be a ladybug. Maybe on this side, I'm going to add a circle with an oval and a heart shape. And this is overlap, right? Because the point of the heart shape doesn't show. I'm going to add a couple of more ovals on the bottom of that heart shape and some antenna. And now I have a butterfly. I want my butterfly to be kind of interesting, so I'm going to add some places that I can add different colors later, like that. So now I have a garden with a bunny and a ladybug and a butterfly. What else are you going to add to your garden? Don't forget that I want to see you color it. Color with whatever you have at home. There are not going to be any mistakes because some of us have different things available. I just looked at my bunny. He really needs a little mouth under his little nose. When I color that, this is going to make more sense. So there's his little nose, and there's his mouth, and there are his eyes. Inside the bottom parts of his ears, I'm going to add some pink. So not on the part that's standing straight up, but the part that's folded over. And your bunny can be any color. What color are bunnies? Well, that's right. They could be brown. They could be black. They could be gray. They could be left white. It's your bunny. It's important to remember that. This is your bunny. So you can make him any color you want. Remember to color slow around the edges. I'm using markers. I don't usually let you do that, but Mrs. Hyman had to use what she had at her house. I can't find any crayons, so Mrs. Hyman's using markers. Slow around the edges so I can stay in my lines and I can master my materials, because it's important that we start to get control of our materials. We'll be in first grade soon. We need to be good at controlling our materials. So slow around the edges to color that little bunny in. And this little thing up here, that's his tail. They're usually white. But this part here, this big part, that's his body. I want to color really slow around the edges when I color his little body in. I'm not going to color the whole thing while you watch. That would be very boring. So I'm going to stop there and tell you to color it any way you want. I do want to see it. Please don't put your name on the front. If you want to put your name, just put it in the corner and just your first name. No last names, please. Just your first name. Be sure and put these on our Google Classroom page. And if you want to load them into Artsonia, you can do that as well. There is a page. I think it's titled My Garden. So you can put it there. If you don't put it on Artsonia, don't worry. I will. Looking forward to seeing your art.